Did you know that in 1964,
3.
Liar.
maybe in 3,
It was 63.
what am I about to say?
When Colonel Sanders first lost his virginity.
Oh, I really thought you had something there.
Yeah.
He sold.
Sure. He lost his virginity.
sold the recipe to Kentucky Fried Chicken for $2 million.
Damn. Back then it was like,
In what year?
Well, 6 years later, it sold for $240 million.
dumbass.
Yeah,
He should have waited to bust that nut.
but they made him the ambassador. I'm like, idiot.
Did he look like that?
Have you seen him?
Like, does he look like the Colonel Sanders guy?
Yeah, that is him.
Like, so, but that's what he looks like then.
Yeah, that was the real. He was a real guy.
Does he look like that? Yeah, that was him. But does he look like that?
I mean,
yeah, that was him. Like you're having this circle argument.
I guess I'm
between the two right
surprised
now.
that you don't know who
yes would be
Colonel
good.
Sanders is. That's a real person.
Yeah. I know who he is.
He wore like a white tuxedo,
Yeah.
and he had a pressure cooker.
He had slaves.
He had a pressure cooker, a real one, and that's how he started going around selling chicken, fried chicken, and it was different from most of the way people cooked it.
Where's he from?
Kentucky.
Kentucky. and
Yeah, no shit.
and he
Why didn't you didn't know he's a real person? So how do I know how
How
far?
are you saying that I didn't know he was a real person?
That's what you, is that not what he just
you
said?
made it, you almost insinuated like maybe he was just a character.
It's exactly.
Okay, first of
exactly
all,
right.
Colonel Sanders, the mascot, is a character.
No, sir. That was his real name.
I'm sure it was his real name.
Harlan Sanders.
Colonel Harlan Sanders.
Yes, but the how do you have like his actual mannerisms and all that kind of stuff? The character of the mascot.
No.
Colonel Sanders
I'm
is
gonna blow
not
your
a real
mind right
person.
now. Are you ready?
Yeah,
He was a real guy.
Wendy's,
I know he's a real guy.
Wendy's is a real girl too. Wendy was a real girl. She really had red hair.
Was named after Dave Thomas.
Okay, but did she wear
Yes.
pigtails all the time?
Absolutely.
Oh, shut the fuck up. She wore them one time in one picture, so now she wore them all the time.
No, that was
she
her
had those kind of
signature
freckles
hairdo.
Go look up Colonel Sanders.
as a character.
No,
Dude,
That was
there's-
the character.
It wasn't the character.
Listen, for all you guys at home, go search Colonel Sanders
Right now.
and look and see what he looked like. He was the real face of the KFC. He was a real person. It wasn't a character. And he
I know he was a real person, but there
But
was
he-
the character that is
but
Colonel
he
Sanders
really
as
dressed
a mascot.
But he really dressed like that.
I'm sure they try to keep it as authentic as possible.
No, he always wore
that's
white suits.
I don't know why
Exactly.
y'all are so passionate on that. That was their real
I don't think
personality
we're the
and
ones
stuff.
that are that passionate.
Why
I'm
is
just
it- why are
saying.
you so dead set on it not being?
I don't know. I'm just hardlining it for no
I
reason, to
think
be honest.
you're taking
exactly right.
you have lapped our passion, and you are like way ahead on passion.
No, I'm not buying into this Colonel Sanders or authenticity bullshit. Okay, I think he was a slave owning cocksucker that cussed a lot. He don't cuss on any of his advertisements, right?
He
So
actually
that's
was-
not portraying the real Colonel
he
Sanders.
was not. He actually, there was no evidence that supported that he owned slaves.
Then why?
It's in Kentucky.
Why did Bobby Boucher have such a problem with him then?
Bobby Boucher was fictional.
And who was the guy that was in? So the guy that played the guy that looks like Colonel Sanders in there, that's a real dude. That's really that's how he acts.
He's
or
real.
is he playing a character?
No, that guy was real.
Maybe I'm straw manning this, but whatever.
I feel like you're trying to black belt us by trying to convince us that we're black belting you. You okay, buddy? You're welcome to CRJ, ladies and gentlemen,
Glad to have you.
where
Damn, Horseshoe Beach
Cam
starting early.
is already reaching for more whiskey. Like,
Oh yeah, I Neanderthal that off, by the way.
you screwed up your cork, Jeff.
Where's the rest of it?
Well, he ate it.
I did eat it actually.
That may explain the passionate response to Colonel Sanders.
Like,
Fuck Colonel Sanders.
he was treating it like a
But I'm gonna tell
Zen
you what,
pouch, and he
there's-
shoved it up in his jaw. Like, bro, that was.
That was
What
a
are
little,
you doing
was a
with your
little-
life
that was a
right
little
now?
aggressive.
Why are you so aggressive? Like, why
Look,
is this
man.
you? Why are you doing this
fresh
right
off
now?
an injection
I'm
or
just
what?
saying. No, I don't do injections.
No, he's pellets.
Are we fresh off a pellet?
He's like he's chewing on him. I don't know what he's
I
doing.
mean, are you
right
got like
now.
in a Pez dispenser over there or what? Because I'm wondering.
I got a list of shit nobody's gonna want to hear. Right? Okay, I'm good.
He's,
All right,
he's
I'm
definitely
fine.
not good.
Fine.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Fine. I need to be
know
fishing. That's
he's
what I need
not
to be
fine.
doing. I'm
He's
gonna
not
coast through
fine.
tomorrow.
We are less than 48 hours from the CRJ Horseshoe Hookers fishing trip.
What's on the docket today?
I think this is the 40. Let's see.
You did ask me to reset the Wi-Fi.
53rd?
53rd.
53rd annual.
Yeah.
Was it 73?
Yeah. So, no, or 52nd.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So this is the 52nd.
Yeah, because they skipped that one in the 80s. There was that one year in the 80s because of the thing.
Well,
that
they were
happened.
smuggling. They kept smuggling all the time, and so they had to shut shit down for a minute.
Yeah.
And then the Horseshoe Hookers had to clean their
Which is a
clean up
lot
their
of
act.
reason. That's a lot of people don't know this, but that is a lot of the reason. That's kind of how that marina got built.
Yeah. Well, that town was thriving at one point before it got hit by hurricane after hurricane.
That's right.
You know, and then people were just like, "Fuck it."
But yeah, for those of you who don't know that, we joke around about this. We're called the Horseshoe Hookers, and we go fishing allegedly at a place called Horseshoe Beach. But
we out here.
Obviously,
All my Puerto
it
Rican.
wasn't us, but there has been a long line of
Lineage, if you will,
of fishermen.
Yep.
Yeah.
Fisher they thems that
Yep. That's what our chat says. Group chat.
Yeah. I keep changing that, and somebody keeps changing
It's
it back.
TJ.
By the way.
It's TJ.
It's TJ. But currently, the current cast.
No
Get it?
pun and
No-
pun.
get it?
No,
No pun
pun
and
and
pun.
pun. Yeah.
Dun,
That was a double.
Thank you. That was
Double
a
dip?
Yeah,
They
double.
call that a DP.
Yeah, they do. They do.
Jeff
They
just
do.
got DP'd over here.
Well, he DP'd us.
DP'd
Yeah,
us.
I did.
And all of you.
So the current cast is just a long line of Fisher thems, and but this is the 53rd annual trip
Yeah.
to Horseshoe Beach.
Yep. Gonna make a couple runs, do some fishing.
Yeah, this started back in 73. Was the inaugural season.
Summer of '73.
What was the? I guess we know one day we need to do a tribute to some of our charter members.
We should.
Like the former ones.
Yeah.
Well, there's so many. There's
the founders.
There were so many eras. You had the guys coming back from Vietnam. You had all the crap in the 80s with the cocaine boost and all that, and then they all got busted.
Right.
And then the Horseshoe Hookers had to clean up their act and be like,
legit.
respectable, go legit, right?
It was honestly.
And then there's that whole era of going legit all the way into the 2000s.
Like I watched a documentary on the Hells Angels, and I was like, you could just about swap out Horseshoe Hookers with the storyline, and I'm like, this is kind of what happened.
kind of, except for all the dudes kissing dudes.
Well, not that part.
Yeah.
Well, there's Brandon.
Hells Angels?
Hunter S. Thompson.
Oh.
Hunter S. Thompson did a whole thing on it. That's why I think they blackballed him for that.
Wow. Okay.
That's not good.
No, that's bad. It's bad for morale.
It's just what's on YouTube. If y'all don't want it on YouTube, then quit putting so many fucking documentaries on bikers on YouTube.
Kyle has made clear in the past that he has no problem with the 1%ers. Okay, he doesn't have any problem. He's not one to start no beef. We're not competing. We're on boats. You guys are on motorcycles.
Yeah,
we did open.
You got a whole two wheels.
We did open the possibility of motorcycles into the boats.
Yeah, we're not going to become a motorcycle.
We're not
club,
a motorcycle club, but we may have a motorcycles in our club.
So
Like
if we have say we get another because the fleet hasn't been built up in decades at this point.
Yeah, it's
If we can get the fleet built up, we're probably going to need a shop to keep all our gear and all that kind of stuff. And if we need to park there or something like that, maybe we got a little couch, maybe a pool table or something like that for somebody's going through some shit. They can crash.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah, where was that 6 months ago? Go ahead.
Yeah, that's our bad. That's our bad,
sorry, buddy.
That's our bad. Yeah.
We'll do better.
And maybe we get a couple bikes.
Take the bikes down.
Maybe we leave
drive
the bikes there.
down.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Maybe we get a couple guys that are trying to work their way into the Horseshoe Hookers that do stuff for us. Maybe we keep a couple of those around. Maybe
Probably ought to keep Dave off a bike.
Definitely. I don't know. Definitely.
or just duct tape him to one and just fucking.
Just like, get it, Dave.
It'll probably make it look really cool. Is a crazy thing.
Yeah.
Somehow.
They'd be like, man, that guy's got balls.
No, just blood sugar
just
dip.
CTE and blood sugar.
You have no idea.
Yeah.
I fucking love Dave.
We do too.
Yeah, man. I think we all that's really good. We should really think about doing a show dedicated
To the founders.
strictly to the history. Yeah, and
the Horseshoe
and I would
Hookers.
have to go back and do a little research too. I don't.
Yeah, it's been a while since we really kind of went through it.
Because I
Would
know
that be
there's
Horseshoe Hookers I guess not MC because we're not a motorcycle club, but
FC.
FC.
Well, and they started out. I think at one time they called it Horseshoe Benders because it was, and then somebody turned it somewhere along the way. I think like in maybe like mid late '80s, it turned into Horseshoe.
when they went to clean it up.
I guess.
Yeah, it was 88. 88 when
Was
they
it?
went. Yeah, 88.
They turned it Horseshoe Hook, which I think is great.
Yeah, because I remember my uncle was talking about it when I was like 4 or 5 years old.
You know what's
in the
weird
90s.
is I'd always heard of it.
Right.
Like just through tales and people were talking about it, but I
It's
didn't.
like the Dixie Mafia. Like you just kind of hear stories about it.
I didn't know, but I just never thought I'd actually be heading down on a trip. It's kind of cool.
True.
There's been a lot of people come before us.
Well, we're all we're 10 years deep now in the Horseshoe Hookers.
Yeah.
I was a little later, but
Buddha looking to get his brand.
Yeah.
we're gonna pop him off.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. All right.
That's one way to put it. I mean, Buddha, be ready to be popped off. Gonna pop that cork, boy.
And Brandon.
Gonna pop that cork.
Brandon's gonna
He's gonna pop that cork.
take care of it.
We fishing with hot dogs.
Corn dogs. TJ bringing the corn dogs.
Speaking of popping corks,
Yeah.
It's gonna be fun.
did you get some popping corks today?
No, that was Dave.
Oh, that was Dave.
Yeah, it was Dave. And Dave bought more popping corks.
More.
Yeah, yeah, he's got a bunch.
That's good.
Just in case.
Just in case somebody needs
You might
popping
lose a bunch of them.
corks.
You know, we did go back to your snook and recalled how you just basically chucked a popping cork out in the middle of fucking nothing and then landed it.
And it wasn't even a live bait; it was a jig.
It was on a jig too. Really? Damn, I forgot that part. Anyways,
Wasn't even live shrimp.
I think Dave took that one to heart, and he's got a bunch of popping corks.
I bought a popping cork to use.
I
what
still
kind did you
have
buy?
a couple.
Voodoo.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, and most of those are good. What you want to stay away from are those. I don't like those Cajun.
Yeah. I saw
Something.
those too.
I don't know.
They're
I saw some of them at Bass Pro.
They work, but like
You want them to be loud. You want them to clap.
I got that Four Horsemen and the actual. I guess there's a weight on one end, and then there's a softer ball on top, but they're big, man. And when you pop that thing, you can hear the difference.
Yeah.
Like it's pop. Pop.
Yeah,
I
some
mean,
of
it
those other
pops.
ones you could barely make them make any noise,
Yeah.
whereas like the other ones they were for sure hitting.
Yeah, it's kind of a you need to speed it up, get a little rhythm, slow it down, let it sit.
Pop it again.
Yeah,
Then you hit one good hard one.
yeah.
And then back it off a little bit.
That's
and then
right.
Pop, 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 pop,
Yeah,
and then
pop
back
it.
it off
Yeah,
again.
pop it a few times hard, and then like just let it sit for a minute. Like
Some would say soak.
you got to
let it
think.
soak.
Let them think about it for a minute. Like when's it?
They may think it's over,
Right, and then
but it ain't over.
Nuh-uh.
It ain't over
No.
by a long shot.
But that's the way you catch fish.
Yeah.
That is the way you catch fish.
Yeah.
right there.
Get up in it.
Yeah, you got to. I mean, you got to have some rhythm, but you got to keep them guessing.
Yeah.
Yeah, sometimes you got to, keep them guessing. Yeah.
You do. It's good. I can't wait.
Me neither. Should be fun.
How's Brandon's boat?
It's all good.
Did he get it running?
Yeah.
Yeah. You sound confident.
He's 100% lying.
Well,
Wait, what is it not? Is it not running?
I don't know. I haven't heard.
I don't know either.
I don't know.
Pope died.
Yeah. Did you guys see that? See the Pope died
On Easter?
the day after
Easter
Easter.
weekend?
I think.
Oh, did he come back?
No, hasn't been 3 days yet.
He's just
Catholic
a person,
system.
folks.
Listen.
Yeah, but he's Catholic, so it doesn't count. I can make fun of it.
Yes, we can.
He's Catholic, so don't count.
He's just a person, man.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
He's not a saint. He's not a prophet. He's just a man.
You know who the
was
last person was to meet with him before
Hillary?
he died? No.
Elon Musk.
Nope. Oh, good guess, though.
funny.
That's a great guess.
That's funny as fuck.
That's a great guess.
Good shit. Oh, that's funny.
Who?
JD Vance.
Oh shit.
Are they trying to blame it on him?
Not yet.
JD gave him that Japanese touch.
Just
Where they hit him with the neurotoxin.
Yeah, pat
And
him.
they're out. Yeah.
And then 6 hours later, he just dies.
Well, I
like
mean,
that.
it's listen. The guy had been on his
neurotoxins.
freaking deathbed for 3 months.
He's been in a wheelchair and all that. But
He's sucking off little boys that can get him fucking that many more years.
no,
Oh wait, did he do that, or he just had a bunch of other people that he allowed do that?
they just okay it.
Yeah.
But and the whole
Talking
way
about Catholic priests there, son.
the whole way that they
Make sure you got the context.
yeah
Just making sure.
yeah.
Timing was in
Catholic
there.
priests,
It's a hell of a time to walk in.
Brazilian black belts, just could be anything. But yeah, the way they pick a new pope is bizarre.
How
I
do
don't
they?
know.
So they sequester. Okay, so they
is
all they close themselves off. So every
They just spit in each other's mouths.
cardinal under the age of 80 goes and locks themselves in a room and they vote. And they
Oh, this was on the Da Vinci Code.
yeah, the black smoke and the
Yeah.
white smoke.
Is it?
Shit, they're really gonna do that, huh?
They do that every time.
That's a real thing.
That's a real thing. Just like Colonel Sanders.
Da Vinci Code.
Exactly.
Yeah, because the Pope was actually who he was. He wasn't a character playing who the fuck everybody else wanted him to
Exactly.
be.
Oh,
Just
they're
like Colonel
definitely a
Sanders.
character playing a part.
Boom, there you go.
Yeah, just
Same
like
as Colonel
Colonel-
Sanders.
But not Colonel
exactly-
Sanders.
Yeah,
Pope
just
is-
like Colonel
the
Sanders.
Pope
Colonel
is just
Sanders
like
was
Colonel
the
Sanders.
Yeah, just like Colonel Sanders. Yeah, he's playing a part.
Well, the Pope is.
So did Colonel Sanders.
So yeah, they lock themselves in a room and they vote.
all
And
in the same room.
all in the same room.
So
And
is
no
the
one- Colonel
cardinal,
Sanders was
is the
a lie.
cardinal right under the Pope?
Yeah, and I don't remember how many there are of them in the United or in the world.
So they all have to go to Rome.
I think it's like 80. Yeah, they all go to the Vatican.
Vatican.
Any of them that can.
Right.
And they're under the age of 80. They all have a vote, and they after each vote they release smoke out a chimney. And if
Yeah.
it's black smoke,
No vote.
it's no. If
Not
it's
decided.
white smoke, they've elected a new pope. So
It's on Da Vinci Code with Tom Hanks.
Tom Hanks.
And that hot
I read
chick.
those. The books are good.
Really?
Yeah,
Steph wrote, I think Steph read the book.
Yeah, the books
she
are-
would.
Yeah, but if you there's a lot of discussion. I saw something back when he first got sick 6-7 weeks ago. They were talking about who the next pope could be, and which way. There's talk of a black pope. There's an African pope that's kind of in the running. Possibly
Disney's involved.
Man,
there's
I just had to turn my fucking brain off for a second because it just. I mean, I had like a million things.
but
Like,
It's just
do you
Disney.
know
It's
the
just Disney.
jokes that are going to come out of this?
Ironically, though, the concern isn't the race; it's that he's super conservative. That's
yeah, it's not about race. It's just it's going to be some funny shit, dude.
Like
He's
African?
yeah, he's from
Yeah, that'd
somewhere
be
down
super
there.
conservative.
Super
Yeah.
conservative. Down
Hell,
there.
that might be good.
Yeah, so there's several of them that are in the running.
I don't know.
Some younger, some older.
It's the Vatican, bro.
But yeah, it's wild. It's weird. And
I would love to take I wish I could just go on a secret tour of the Vatican.
yeah, I would love to go to the Vatican.
Well,
yeah.
I've been, but
Right.
I walked through it like everybody else. I'm talking about
Oh, you want to get behind the curtain?
yeah, like I want to get in the tunnels.
You
I
want to
want
get up in them cloaks?
I want to go. Well, no,
You want to get up in that,
I just want to get behind the
like where the altar boys go?
behind the curtains.
Yeah, that's where they go.
Yeah. Well, not.
We could dress you up as a little altar boy,
altar boy Jeff.
little altar boy Jeff.
Yeah. I think it would be interesting.
Dark.
That's really.
Why would he do that to you, Jeff?
really
Why would that be
weird.
where he would take it with you, altar boy Jeff?
I don't know. It's just where it came. I just pictured you in
Look
like
at him now.
in a white robe, all the way up to your neck. Nice little turtleneck robe.
I would not have
Doing
been.
the shah, like doing
I
that.
would not have,
Jeff can sing.
I wouldn't have been a very good altar boy.
Jeff can sing.
I've heard him sing.
Yeah.
Well, he had a guitar when he was singing.
I think there's there's no telling, man. I mean, the secrets that place
Dude,
holds
no. What centuries? I mean,
Yeah.
and the money that place. Oh,
I bet they've seen aliens.
They probably have aliens.
They probably do. There's so much hidden money. They probably have like Wakanda underneath that shit. Like that kind of level of technology.
it's like gold bars and shit.
Gold bars, yeah. weird
Yeah, 'cause you know they hoarded that junk.
minerals you never seen before.
It's probably just like a Bitcoin mining farm underneath it, just a bunch of computers. That's all they do is mine Bitcoin all day.
They're just sitting there trolling fucking conservatives and Democrats all on some troll farm.
Some troll mine
like
Bitcoin farm.
Yeah.
Yeah, we went. So we were there. This would have been probably early mid 2000s. 4 or 5, some 6, somewhere in there. I don't remember exactly. Mm-hmm. And
I was in high school.
yeah, I was in my.
Well, I was dropping out of high school.
I was probably late 20s, early 30s. But yeah, we got to go to the Vatican, and we did the tour. I mean, it was cool.
Even the tour, yeah, I will say, even that would be dope.
Yeah, it was.
This
It was
is
cool.
so much history.
I mean, we got to go. Yeah, because I got to see like the Sistine Chapel. I mean, we talked about
That's
that.
what I'm saying. Yeah, that'd be dope.
We've talked about that.
How far is that from Rome and the
It
Colosseum?
is in Rome.
And all? It is in Rome?
It is in Rome,
So
yeah.
the Colosseum's nearby?
Very close.
Dope.
Yeah.
So you can see all that.
That would be cool.
Yeah.
All that would be cool.
Right?
Yeah, the Colosseum is pretty awesome. It's just massive. You don't
Right.
realize how big it is till you're there.
Really? It's like going to like a Brave Stadium or
Yeah.
something, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's dope. Even then they were packing them out and
It's just
charging.
big, and like just when you start thinking about all the damn history and
Yeah, that's what would be really cool
Different
to
people
me
that passed through there.
because
well, they
that
were
was,
just they were, they really were like just vicious. I mean,
sure.
what they did to for entertainment. Mm-hmm. These
Just break out the lions and
oh
tigers and
man,
shit.
they would just put people out there. And of course that's where the a lot of the movies that have been made have about it, but
Right.
it's pretty crazy.
Yeah, see, that's where the feeling that I got when we went to DC, 6-7 years ago, was just about I was kind of overtaken almost by the history of the buildings just in United States history. Walking through the Capitol, walking through all these places, and all the major decisions that was there. I felt an overwhelming sense of like history for our country specifically. I couldn't imagine something, and our country in the grand scheme of things is very young.
Oh, yeah.
compared to like
Absolutely.
Rome and all that.
Sure.
I
Talk about
couldn't
like the empire falling. I'm like, we ain't even been out here
ain't
that
been
long.
through
to be
that,
fucking
yeah.
Going through all that.
But it would be, I think, really cool to go somewhere like Rome and just tour all those where you're talking about centuries upon centuries upon centuries.
See you, buddy.
See, Si, of history and people that I could really get into that. That would be really cool.
Yeah, that's one thing Steph's always talked about wanting to do.
Yeah.
See stuff like that.
Yeah, that would be really cool, and that's that's the whole like people that go to a lot of Christians go to Jerusalem and want to retrace the steps like Jesus. All that's would be really cool, just from a historical standpoint because things are so much older, everywhere else in the world than they are in the United States. We're just so young, but it would be really cool.
Be different going to the pyramids now, huh?
Yeah,
Right.
I'd be a little bit freaked out,
Right.
honestly, with not knowing that there's stuff, but not knowing
What it is.
and
Well, they, Spartacus, famous, and his wife was actually thrown in to the lions. And,
really?
And they asked him in a post-game interview. They said, "Are you upset about it?" And he said, "No, I'm glad he ate her."
In the post-game interview, huh?
Gladiator.
Yeah, no, I got
Get
it.
it? Gladiator.
Yeah,
Okay.
I got it. Everybody got it. Go ahead and hit
You're
him with
welcome.
The chuckle one that you
You
have.
I don't
are
think we have a
welcome.
chuckle ones.
Oh, shit.
I didn't realize.
Penn loved that one, by the way. Oh, he loves dad jokes.
That's a good dad joke.
All right, so let's change it. Let's switch.
Yeah,
it
let's
up
get
a little
off
bit.
of that.
A little bit here. I have a hypothetical. I have a question for you guys.
I like questions.
and I want to know your take on it. So we were watching Carrie and I were watching a reality show here lately, or just recently rather, and it brought up this question. that I had that we talked about a little bit, and that's honesty during games. Okay. And so in this reality show, I think it's on Netflix. It was popular back in the 80s, and it was like Secret Millionaire, I think was the name of it back then.
Okay. Is this kind of like Undercover Boss?
No, so they bring everybody to this big resort house, and there's like 8 or 10 of them there that they bring in contestants, and they're all from different walks of life.
Do they have all the classic genres of people?
Absolutely, 100%. The old guy, the young girl, the really hot blonde,
right.
the black guy.
Did they have the gay or the lesbian? They had to have one of them.
I don't remember that.
I don't
show,
think
Mark. What was the premise behind the show?
So I don't think they had either. Honestly, now that's
Whoa, that's crazy.
I don't think they had a gay guy or a
Times are
lesbian.
changing. How dare
That's
they?
bizarre.
How dare they?
Okay, so anyway, the premise of the show, it's kind of like Clue a little bit. So when you all get there, you go to your room, and one of you all get these big boxes, these wooden boxes, and one of you is given $1 million. And the premise of the game is everyone has to figure out who has the $1 million. And you have to do challenges that some will give
so only
clues.
one person has it.
Only one person has it. And then at dinner each evening, you vote out who you think has the $1 million. And if you end up with the $1 million at the end, you get it. If you get voted out, and some of the things like if you had $1 million and you completed this challenge, and one of the challenge might have been like something like you have to use the names of 3 Michael Jackson songs in conversation. Just random conversation. You have to use 3 Michael Jackson songs. And,
That'd be a thriller.
yeah, see,
Or you could just beat it.
Absolutely. Yeah.
That's all I know.
Yeah. And I knew a girl named Billie Jean once, but she's not my lover.
No.
But
Yeah.
She's just a girl.
She's just a girl. But anyway, and if they complete those tasks, like they get 2 votes on their vote counts twice, so they could try to vote someone else out. Anyway, it's a pretty cool little show. There's only like 8 episodes of it, but in this show, really quickly, and I'm sure some of it's put on, but some of it's not. People start getting really offended when people lie to them.
Yeah.
Like super offended that like somebody lies to him. And it's like, why would why would you tell the truth about anything?
But do you not think that's part of just the drama?
Some of it is, but
I mean, I would think.
but some of these people aren't good. Like they're not actors. Okay, they're just normal people. Some of them.
All right, so I'll do like a proof of concept on that, like the Mr. Beast show, the Beast Games.
Yeah.
So that had like 1,000 people that started with it, right?
Yeah.
And immediately, like you started seeing people like doing that, where they were like playing for the better good of the game and all this other stuff, and acting like they had, relationships with people that we've been in it together. It's like you've been in it for 8 hours together. What the fuck are you talking about?
We've known each other since Tuesday.
Y'all are competing for $5 million.
Right.
Like half of y'all are about to get cut first day.
Yes.
Like, what are you talking about?
Right.
That's competition.
Yeah. And
like, why would you trust anything anybody says?
That's exactly right. And it's like, and I get this.
Yeah, it's just weak minds.
I get the maybe I don't know, Stockholm syndrome's the wrong kind of way to say it, but I get the sense of us, like if you lock 10 people in a room for multiple days in a row, I get that you're automatically going to get some friendship, some people you're going to really connect with and talk to. But
yeah, there's camaraderie.
Yeah, but you're playing a game for a dollar amount.
Yeah.
And I don't think there's any moral issue about lying your butt off in those situations, knowing that you're playing a game.
Well, it's not like you're scamming somebody. I mean, you all signed up for it.
That's exactly right.
Oh, for sure.
So, is lying in games is fine, right?
Do you think maybe it's when some people
stretching
are
it a little bit?
Some people are put in those high pressure situations like that. It's kind of a way of just coping. Is they try to be like, it's kind of like the guy. So like you've been in competition where you go and the competitor's like overly nice.
Yes.
But then he
terrible.
tries to fucking kill you, or he's like expecting for you to be nice because he's being overly nice. Those guys.
And it's like some big agreement.
But I
Yeah,
think
that
a
we're
lot
not
of these
gonna actually
people,
try
like
to
on
kill
that
each other.
beast thing. Are you talking about the one where they all started out? They're all in the square.
Yeah,
they're
it looks
dropping-
like Squid Games.
Yeah.
It was
So,
fun. Me and Dominic watched the whole thing.
I didn't watch the whole thing. I literally watched one episode and I was like, I was kind of like where you. I was like, this is fucking stupid.
Right, yeah.
Because-
we laughed through all of it.
Well,
like
and-
even Dominic thought he was like, "This is insane."
Because they interviewed this one girl and she's like, she's like, I'm just gonna, basically trying to almost like virtue signal, like I'm going to take one for the team, for the better, for the good of everyone. And I'm like, girl, nobody in here would even help you fix your tire in the parking lot, but they don't know you.
Right. And so like you don't have to voice it, but there was people that had integrity that made it very far into the game. You know what I'm saying? Because they didn't burn any bridges. But you're still just playing the game,
Yeah,
right?
it's still
you're
playing the game.
You're still being tactical in your approach. You know what I'm saying?
I don't understand that. I mean, I just.
I get if
but
you're doing it for the game, like you're trying to build alliances and you're
But I
trying to
wonder
be
how much of
not
that
burn
is
any
the
bridges.
producers.
Some of it's got to be editing.
There's so
and
much
stuff,
of it they
stuff
can
like that.
WWE. They can WWE like a bunch
Yeah,
of it.
I think
for sure.
sometimes that's the producer saying, "Hey, we need to create this narrative here."
Well, if we had a bunch of white belts that were doing a game show, we could totally pick out which
You
ones
can
that we
pick
could
them
like.
out.
We
Absolutely.
could ramp him up. He's going to be a dick. We
Absolutely.
can start pushing her. She'll be too emotional.
Yes.
Or him.
Yes.
I don't have to single out the girl. But
No, you absolutely you do that on the casting side of it.
well, that's like Naked and Afraid.
Naked.
Naked. You say what you
I
want
love
to.
that every time
That's
you
the
say
way
that.
everybody says it.
Naked.
It is.
I believe you. Naked and
saying
Afraid is
naked.
definitely.
It is not naked.
I know. We've had this.
That's
convo.
not the way people say it, Mark.
No,
Say
it's
naked.
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 I believe you.
Okay, naked and afraid.
Anyway. God.
You put a lot of emphasis on naked and
Naked.
afraid.
You
They
really
lay
got
down
up
on their
that-
pillows.
I'll be in that microphone. Naked.
But there's no
Naked and
way
Afraid.
that show. I mean, if you watch it, I'm like, come on. I mean, a lot of that's just
Yeah.
producer, creating a scene.
Yeah, that's there. Have you seen Alone?
Oh.
Where they spend like 90 days in Alaska?
Yes.
Like, they'll be doing shit, and I'm like, yeah, but there's camera people right in front of you.
That's right.
And you're acting like there's a whole camera crew right there.
I'm out here by myself.
But I could just call for help, and it's right down the road.
And all of a sudden, there's a helicopter that hovers over your camp. And
Well,
just-
it's like Daniel Tosh, the comedian, Daniel Tosh, Tosh.0.
Yes.
So he makes okay, Mark, you would really like him.
okay.
Well,
Is he better than Neil Bargatze?
Nate Bargatze.
Totally different
Very,
genre
very
altogether.
different. Very different. Daniel Tosh is very. I mean, he's raw, like in your face, but he not like cussing and things like that. But like he pushes the cultural envelope. Like he will make an audience very uncomfortable, very very quick.
Okay.
I mean, he kind of says things, and you're like, "Ooh, wow," So that kind of guy. But he talks about the game show Survivor,
Yeah.
and he does this whole bit on how we make a game show about how some people in this world live
Right.
Yeah.
against
Oh, yeah.
their will. Like there's people that live that
Yes.
way, and they're trying to survive for real.
Right. Yeah.
And we're making a show about it.
Yeah.
For $1 million.
Yeah, TV show.
And it's just he was just talking about how it just shows the really just the pompous arrogance of America in some regard. And I get it. I mean, it's all about.
Well, it's Hollywood America.
It's entertainment, yeah.
It's Hollywood America. Yeah.
But I mean, you could even go to probably deep Appalachia
Oh,
and
yeah.
find people that are living in pretty
Worse.
rough conditions.
For sure. Absolutely.
So
Yeah,
I don't know.
we still when I go back to West Virginia, I can within 20 minutes of where my grandmother lives, I can drive by places that don't have running water that still have
How
outhouses.
in the hell can that be possible in this day and age?
Absolutely, it's where you and I'm not overstating this at all. You don't go in some areas. It's just like. We wouldn't go. Your three co-hosts here wouldn't go into some areas of Atlanta at night, right? There's some areas or Southwest Atlanta that we just wouldn't go.
I mean, if you did, you'd be managing expectations.
Absolutely. No, that's exactly right.
Like some things may happen.
Yeah, there's a likelihood of that. Yeah, you better really know what you're doing and be able to mix and manage your environment and all those things really well. And if you did, you could be okay. But if you didn't, if you started doing the wrong things or saying the wrong things or just acting the way you normally would act,
going on the wrong damn street.
Yeah, going the wrong street or go in the wrong gas station or try to get gas somewhere or anything like that, you'd really put yourself in a bad situation. There are places like that in West Virginia that are the exact same, and they're like that for anybody. Like I wouldn't go there. I wouldn't. Especially at night, especially just pulling up into somebody's house or pulling up into a certain gas station, little it's not even a gas station, little convenience store brick or block building on the side of the road.
Well, it's funny.
Pull up in there.
Oh, I've been down dirt roads on that in Alabama that I wouldn't. They had stores and all kind of shit on them.
Well, you remember a few years ago when we went, when I told you we took the off-road trip into the Hatfield McCoy Trail.
Yeah.
And we were up there, and there was this building kind of off in the distance, and I asked the guide that was driving us. I know I've told this story, and I said, "What's in that?" I said, "What's that metal building? On the hill over there?" And he said, "Oh, that's a." He said, "Well," he said, "it's a lot of things." He said, "But it's," he said, on the weekends they have a live band, and he said, "But what they're really known for is," he said, "they have, cockfights out back." Mm-hmm. And I said, "Huh." I said, "That sounds," I said, "interesting." I said, "Might be some," I said, "What?" I said something like, "Might be some, cultural education for the kids." He goes, "Oh, no. Mm-hmm. And he said, I said, "Really?" He said, "Absolutely not." He said, "I would not let you go there." He said, "Absolutely not."
Yeah, better know about it.
Yeah. He said, He said, "You don't just walk up in a place like that."
Nope.
Mm-hmm. He said, "You're going to be in a lot of trouble."
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Outsider stuff.
Yeah. It's wild.
Well, there's strip clubs 45 minutes from here that are like that.
Yeah.
I mean, there's some in LaGrange. Like, you better, like, you can go in there if you want to. But it's probably not going to work out well if you don't know anybody.
Yeah.
You at least better get somebody coming in with you that knows the deal.
Yeah, it's crazy. And it's weird that there's
Atlanta's
places
the same
like
way.
Atlanta's the same way, and in some ways there's parts, and I'm sure there's parts of Kentucky that are like that. But southern West Virginia, you start getting west of Beckley. Towards that Hatfield McCoy area, Jeff, like down towards that corner where Kentucky, Virginia, and West Virginia are. Mm-hmm. Boone County,
Boone County.
Yeah, Boone County's down in there.
Isn't that like where the whites,
yeah,
Jesco and all
really?
that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And see, there's a lot of coal mines in those areas, though, and that's so you get like my grandfather both worked down in the coal mines in those areas where they would drive hour and a half each way to go to work for the coal mines and underground. But those areas, like, they're forgotten in history. Like, they're the same as what they were in the 40s.
Yeah.
They never came into just normal, what normal life is.
See, that's crazy because there's areas like that all the way from the rural mountains and coal miners all the way into the inner cities that just have not changed. Like, there's neighborhoods in Baltimore that have not changed in 60 years. You know, like, it's just like, it makes you wonder, what is that? It's
weird.
It is weird. It's very weird that nothing changes about it.
No, and then you get some areas, that change remarkably overnight. Just like, so they were doing, I saw something just recently. Buford is an area in Georgia here north of Atlanta a little bit where they have a really good football program is how most people, and athletics in general is how most people know Buford. But they're in the highest classification in athletics in Georgia, which is now 6A. It was 7A, but they they cut number of classifications down. So, but anyway, they're in the largest classification, and just a few years ago, they were in the same classification as Bowden. They were single A,
That's crazy.
10, 12 years ago. So in 10 or 12 years, they've went from, 300-400 kids in their high school to now, 1,900 in their high school. And the area has just changed.
Well, there's got to be a reason for people to move to that general area. So Atlanta is a hub, right, for Delta. It's a hub for business. It's a hub for the movie industry. So what happens is now you got all these suburbs branching out, which is why Swanee, Buford, Cumming, all these places, Carrollton,
right?
Augusta.
And it made more sense for them to build suburbs on the outskirts where people could just commune in.
What is there in southern West Virginia?
In Boone County, West Virginia, coal mines.
Exactly. It's mountainous terrain. It's not easily accessible.
Can't come in and out.
There's no major cities.
No major airport. No.
So it's not really accessible for growth.
No. West Virginia is one of the few states that doesn't have a professional sports team of any team. They don't have an international airport. They just a lot of West Virginia has not changed.
It's just bizarre, man.
Well, there's like Pacific Northwest areas that are very much like that.
Yep. Yeah, and it's crazy, I don't know. I've never been into like North Dakota, South Dakota, Wyoming.
Oh, I have.
Those areas. That's right. You have.
Yeah. You get outside of the major city and it's just farms.
Right.
Huge farms.
Well, they got Indian reservations out there too. Right?
Yeah, that's a whole different animal.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're all out there too.
But
who's going to go and who's going to develop out there?
Yeah, but see, that's weird though, because like I would think, having just been in Phoenix is blowing up right now. Like there's so much industry, and I know that like there's, but it's the desert. It's literally in the desert. Like there is.
But is it like an in between zone between like
kind of
for freight?
Yeah, it is, and that's what's made it blow up. But like the West Virginia could be a direct route. Like there's a lot of stuff that goes through West Virginia, just nothing like 75 or 64, 75, and then there's another interstate. There's 3 interstates that come right through there. It's been so long, I don't remember what all they are, but they all go right through there, and the cities that even should have blown up, like Charleston, West Virginia is the state capital, should have blown up. It hasn't grown at all. Beckley, West Virginia is where I was born, should have blown up by now. It's got 2 interstates that intersect right there in Beckley, and it should have blown up by now, and it just never has. There's just no industry. Nobody's moved any companies in there. There's no technology in there. The coal industry was it had it on lock basically West Virginia on lock for so many years.
Yeah.
Right.
And then as it kind of went away, nothing took its place. And there was it's not like the auto industry where there's all this technology stuff that comes with it, right? Where there's computers that go into it and all these other suppliers.
Yeah, you have to innovate.
Yeah, and innovation. It's not. The coal industry is not like that. They're using the same equipment than what they was 50 years ago. Yeah, like there's not a lot of underground mining is still very dangerous.
Yeah, Dominic, he ran. I think we were on my phone or something, but ran across a video of a guy just in the tunnel and he's pickaxing coal. Dominic asked what he was doing. He's like, "Wow," I was like, "Well, he's coal mining." He was like,
"Yeah,
I bet you get really strong doing that." And I'm like, "Yeah, no."
if you guys ever are going through West Virginia at any point in just driving, in Beckley, West Virginia, there is an exhibition coal mine. So there's an old underground coal mine in Beckley that will give you tours. So it's completely safe. You don't go all the way in, but they take you under a mountain. They let you ride in what they call a man car, where you sit down and it's like a little low rider, where you sit almost laying down in it, and they take you back in and they talk to you about coal mining and the history of coal mining. It's extremely fun and really kids love it. It's one of those things where like down here they take every kid goes to the Atlanta Aquarium at some point, right?
Oh, yeah. Dominic's been.
Every kid in around Beckley goes to the exhibition coal mine.
Dominic loves stuff like that.
He would love it. It would be like he absolutely would love it, and it's cheap. It's not really big, but it gives you the idea, and you get the feel of it. If you're claustrophobic, it's
It may sound weird, but I'm not a fan.
Me either.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, me either.
Think it's a big guy thing?
I don't know. I blame my dad. Okay. So
Jeff has questions.
I didn't say anything. I was kind of did he put you in like a coffin or something?
we would
kicked him down a coal mine and was like, figure it out.
we like
the ring,
tie us up,
throw him in a well,
and have to get loose. Teach us how to get out of ropes.
Really?
Yeah, really.
And y'all want to talk about my dad shooting a fucking dog?
Well, this is the first I've heard of this one, buddy.
Yeah.
Mark,
I didn't know they tied y'all up and threw y'all down a hill, did you?
Nah, not through some hill, but would like leave us in a room, shut the door, turn the light off, and have Bill and I would
That's some
have to
West Virginia shit right there, boy.
have to untie ourselves.
Quit
and,
crying.
See how then Bill and I would do it. We'd tie each other up and see who could tie each other up the tightest to make sure nobody gets out. And
Your dad was trying to get some quiet time. That's all that was. He was like, y'all, I don't know, figure out how to get out.
We got 15 minutes till the boys get out of those ropes.
it's working, Mom.
Now that you mention it, they did always go to the other end of the house after we were tied up.
He's like, I don't know, man. I'm gonna have to tie them fucking knots better because they're getting out too quick now.
But yeah, so I don't like. So it bothers me. I really struggled with it when I first started jiu-jitsu, not being able to move, being like on bottom somewhere, and somebody holding with my arms pinned somewhere where I can't move at all. Anything comes over my mouth at all, I want to freak out. I want to completely freak out. And I really had to work through it. I didn't tell anybody for years because I know it would be used against me.
For 46 years or 15 years at least, we know. Okay.
I'm good enough.
Mother's milk for old Mark from here on out.
I can handle it now without any issues on the mat. But
yeah, none of my parents tied me up or anything or shot my dogs, and I just didn't like being smothered. Basically, I got beat up by siblings. I got jumped by other kids. So I'm starting to feel like my generation's a bunch of pussies.
That's still
yeah. No, we just we got yelled at and we felt bad about it.
Shot my dog.
There seems to be a little bit of a line though between Jeff and me, and then something happened in those years between you and I. That where all these normal parenting tactics just kind of went away.
There was an Adam Sandler bit on I forget the movie. I think it was Funny People, but there's some kid complaining about he's like, oh, my parents got divorced and all this and that, and he starts whining. He's like, yeah, my generation didn't have all that. They beat each other with bats. They never got divorced. He's like, not like your faggy little generation.
Well,
it was pretty funny. Check that out. That's Adam Sandler. That's not me.
Yeah.
So
good old Adam Sandler.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a good one.
Well, boys, we're at the end of it. We're at the end of the last episode before we go to Horseshoe.
Go to Horseshoe, and we have a big announcement on the Horseshoe where we're getting to a milestone that we'll talk about.
Oh yeah. We definitely do. We'll do that'll be on Monday's episode. We'll release it
For sure.
We are going to do some lives. We try to.
For sure.
We're unsure of the Wi-Fi and the internet connectivity. We're going to take the cameras.
See what happens.
And see what happens, but we'll at least record while we're down there, and it'll be the 7 of us. So I'm sure, Buddha, TJ, Dave, Brandon. Buddha, TJ, Dave, Brandon. Yeah, that's it. Those 4 will probably be hopping on a few on some of the episodes
For sure.
and we'll get some takes on that. We'll update you guys on how the trip has went up until that point, and give you a little recap. Once we get back, there's a lot riding on this trip. We've got a lot of there's been a lot of things thrown out, a lot of lines cast into the water, if you will, on different different things. So we're going to try a lot. We're going to see what happens, and hopefully we'll pop our cork.
Pop that cork, baby.
And catch some fish and see what else we come up with.
Hell yeah.
Jeffrey, back to you.
Yeah. That's my tap out, Jeff. Go ahead.
Back to you, Jeff.
Close it out, Jeff.
Well, I just things have been good lately, guys. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, things have been really good.
Hell yeah.
Good.
Yeah, been doing good.
I like that.
I've been lot of positive things lately, so that's a good thing.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
I like it.
Real quickly, I know we're at the end of the thing. Can I tell
Not
this?
sad.
the
is it?
podcast.
No.
Just totally gearing up for something.
No. So
Like that's usually what he does. He'll like get us going one way. Things are so great.
But
I did.
ran over this bunny
I'm not
rabbit
gonna
on the way
lie.
back.
I'm not gonna lie. I believe in. I think mental health is a real thing. I think that you should take it serious.
Damn right.
And I think that if I think that I grew up in a generation, and especially before me, that seeing a counselor or a therapist or something like that, was frowned upon. It was looked at as, oh, that's weak, and that's just such bullshit.
Absolutely.
It really is.
Yep. Facts.
And so I have started going to this lady that she does a combination of, she does actual counseling, but she also does like life coaching and things like that. She's just phenomenal.
Very nice.
And, I'm not going to lie, the first 3 sessions, she had a friggin' field day with me. I mean, it was like, it was wild.
Was any of it close to what we'd already told you?
Yeah, I mean, some of it, but I mean, she really did like hammer home on some things. And,
that tells me
We don't miss.
we just weren't hard enough.
but
and we don't miss.
But I really thought that was cool was one of the things that she said, and this made me, it's exactly what I've heard you say, and maybe not in the same exact context, but she made the comment, she said, you have to manage your expectations.
Ayo.
And I said, damn, I have heard that a million friggin' times. And she goes, from who? I said, well, I got a buddy of mine. I said that I go to the gym with, and I said all the time. He says, yeah, you got to manage your expectations. I said, now it's usually in relation to me getting my ass whipped in jiu-jitsu from a brown belt, like Everett, just mauling me.
Right.
And I said, but the principle applies
100%
to life.
I use it all the time.
And she was saying, one of the things she said, I know this is a very long tap out, but
No.
one of the things that she said about me specifically was she said you hold people to almost an unrealistic standard. Mm-hmm. And she said you expect things to go a certain way in your head. And if people don't respond the way you think they should respond, or things don't go the way in your mind you think it should go, she said, you look at it as black and white, right or wrong. Mm-hmm. And she said, it's none of that.
The defense mechanisms come up, and yeah.
And she's like, and she said, and that's when she said, you got to learn to manage those expectations. And that's when I was like, I've heard that. So I just thought that was really cool. I was like,
cool.
I was like, hey, shout out to Kyle. And she's like, who's Kyle? I was like,
sorry, I was podcasting for a second.
yeah. But it was pretty neat. She used that phrase several times, manage your expectations. And I thought, guys, it's crazy.
That's dope,
awesome.
man. I'm happy for you.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
Yeah, she's been really good.
GFY,
Yeah,
Jeff.
man. Yeah, that's good, man. Yeah, that's awesome.
So, yeah, man, I'm excited. So,
Oh yeah, good stuff.
Yeah. Well, if you don't ever hear from us again, we're lost somewhere in the Gulf of America.
We may go to Cuba, may stop by the Bahamas. I don't know.
like Dave's boat, they all bought fishing tackle. Brandon's boat, we bought new paddles
And life jackets.
and life jackets.
Yep.
Just because we
And
can walk in
solar
4
powered
foot water.
GPS.
Yeah. And Starlink.
Love you, Mom.
Love you guys. We'll
Kids,
see
I'll
y'all
be
this
back.
week.
I'll be back.